Hi kind friends! On my Facebook page and Twitter I decided to start calling you guys my kind friends because I wanted to give you guys a name inspired by Graveyard Girl and how she calls her subscribers her swamp family. I just think that that's pretty cool. But anyway, so hi kind friends. Today I am sad because my cat killed my camera. She killed it! She jumped on my desk and got tangled into the strap of my camera and fell to the floor with it, and now it doesn't work. I'm pretty frustrated, but since I'm a crazy YouTuber, I have 3 backup cameras, and the one that I would have used is missing, to my great dismay, so it's a good thing I have 3. So this is the one that I started my channel with. This is the camera I bought in 2010, so I hope that the quality looks okay. I'm in front of the window, so hopefully the lighting's alright. But anyway, today I'm here to do my update on the BookTubeAthon. If you didn't see my last video, basically it's a marathon of reading, a readathon they call it apparently. Throughout the whole week, you just read as much as possible. There's also sprints. I wasn't able to participate in any of the sprints because one of them was when I was asleep and the other one was in the middle of my work day, so I couldn't do that. But I did read pretty much, like, reading was the only thing I did after work, except for on Tuesdays when there's Pretty Little Liars and Chasing Life. Pretty Little Liars is such a guilty pleasure because it's such a ridiculous show. They better have applied to out-of-state colleges. Other than that, I watch Chasing Life on Tuesdays, and that is going to be in my July favorites because I really am liking that show. It's very cool. But anyway, so onto reading, not television. I both succeeded and fails for my goals for this Tubeathon. I definitely did not read 7 books. I didn't complete most of the challenges, but I did read more this week than I have this entire year. But also I failed in a sense because one of the things that I spent most of the time reading was a 77 chapter fanfiction. I'm sorry. One of my goals was to try and get away from fanfiction this week, just to read normal books, but that didn't happen, and I found a really good quality 77 chapter Draco Hermione Dramione fanfiction, and I read that a lot. But on the good news, I looked up how many, what's the word count generally for most books, and 50% of the books are in the range of 60,000 words. The fanfiction that I read was 400,000 words, so in a way I read a lot of books. But anyway, now let me get to the actual books that I read. Oh, before I start talking about what I read, I forgot to tell you I filmed one clip during the week to show you guys, so roll clip.
Today I'm waiting outside Plato's closet to see if they'll take some of my items. I think this is like the final time I'll go through my closet, but I've said that so many times. I'm doing a little reading outside instead of browsing on the inside like I usually do because I always end up buying something and then the money that they give me isn't as much, so I'm trying not to do that. But today I am reading outside of Plato's closet. I'm reading the love letters from Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, which I think I'm really excited about. It's going to take me very little time to read this. I've only been reading a few minutes and I'm already like 20% in, so it looks like this is going to be something really quick for me to finish on the BookTubeAthon. So I'm very excited about that because I was worried that I'm not going to finish anything. So I know at least to have that up my sleeve. I'm not wearing sleeves and it's so hot I probably have a sweat mustache.
Okay, so speaking along those lines, I finished the love letters of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. It was really easy to finish. It was a very easy read. It was very fascinating seeing how people talk because a lot of the letters ended with, instead of like sincerely, it ended with your humble servant, Henry VIII. Or your most humble servant, or your most loyal servant. So it was seen as a positive, like, I love you so much that I am a servant to you. And I thought that was very interesting because if I made a love letter to Chris and I signed it, your most humble servant, Rebecca, if anyone read it, they would think that we had a very unbalanced relationship. So I thought that was very interesting that all of the love letters were signed that way. Now, something I read that wasn't part of my TBR list, like my fanfiction, was this. It's Reader's Digest World War II. I just thought it was very fascinating. It's filled with a lot of love letters and different factoids about women joining the workforce and things like that during World War II. And also this picture is just awesome. It was very fascinating, and it's pretty thick for a magazine, so I'm just going to mention it, but it doesn't count towards my BookTubeAthon. Now, as for the other books that I was going to read, I didn't finish The Last Unicorn, but I am about a quarter of the way through. I think out of everything that I was reading, this was what I found the most interesting, but again, I got trapped in the vortex of fanfiction, so I do intend on making it my goal to finish The Last Unicorn next week, because I really want to watch the movie, but I am not going to let myself watch it until I actually finish the book, because that was the challenge, read the book and watch the movie. But I really enjoyed it, and so far the adaptation from book to movie is really accurate. There's been only like one scene that they took out and it was totally unnecessary, but I'm only 25% through the book, so once I get to the love story, I think that's going to be the real test of how much did they adapt accurately. So I'm very excited about it. Yeah, if you haven't read The Last Unicorn or seen the movie, definitely do, because the unicorn falls in love, and a unicorn in love is just a sight to be seen. I'm very determined to finish this next week, and I'm like, no, Rebecca, you are banned from fanfiction.net. Alice in Wonderland, I put that by my bed because I thought, like, my dreams are pretty much like Alice in Wonderland. My dreams are very like, are you on drugs, Rebecca? In my very old channel, my first vlog channel that I don't use anymore, called Rebecca Rambles, I have a video all about me reading aloud my dream diary, so I'll put that down below. I don't keep it anymore, but I've been meaning to start it again for a while, because they really are like Alice in Wonderland. But so I put that by my bed just because I thought it was kind of cool, but I actually didn't read Alice in Wonderland at all this week. I just didn't feel motivated, so I don't even know if I'll pick it up. I'll try, but I didn't. I regret picking it for my TBR list, but also I picked a lot of things for my TBR list just because I already had them and hadn't finished them, and I was trying to save money, so I wish I had picked some books that I didn't own. I also haven't started Girl Boss. I am going to finish it today, because it's really early right now. It's only 10 a.m., but I need to film this and edit it in time before I go out. But since it's only 4 hours, I intend on finishing it today or tomorrow during work. Also, it's what the A Beautiful Mess book club is reading this month, and they're doing a discussion on July 31st. And if you don't follow the Beautiful Mess blog, you definitely should. It's wonderful. So I intend on finishing that today. But when I was looking through my Audible, because I was going to start it earlier on in the week, I realized I had 10 hours left of Game of Thrones. It was a 33-hour audiobook, but I guess I got confused and thought I had finished it because I had been watching the series alongside, and I got distracted and I just finished season 1 anyway, even though I wasn't done with the book. So I got distracted and I thought I had finished it when I didn't. So this week I finished the last 10 hours of Game of Thrones, so that's why I hadn't started on my other audiobook. So I'm going to do that. Speaking of things I didn't finish, when I went to Pottermore, because I had intended to also finish Pottermore this week, I realized I hadn't finished Chamber of Secrets, even though I thought I did. So I finished Chamber of Secrets, and now I'm on around chapter 8 or 9 in The Prisoner of Azkaban. As for the actual book, The Prisoner of Azkaban, that I was reading on my Kindle, I'm about 45% into the book. So that is all of the things that I was going to read this week. I did do a lot of reading, a heck of a lot of reading, but I didn't finish really any of the challenges. So hit or miss, but either way I really enjoyed the BookTubeAthon. I intend to continue next week and to finish The Last Unicorn and Girl Boss because I am really into this book right now. I just hadn't had the time to really read it. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for everyone that subscribed because of the BookTubeAthon. Hi new friends. I'm very excited that you're here. Stay tuned for my July favorites in a few weeks. I've started to make sections in my favorites and I do include reading. So if you want to see more about that, I'm going to have more reading selections in my July favorites, along with different TV shows, media, beauty products, things like that. Now I'm going to be trying to fix my camera, so I'm hoping that I have 3 videos pre-filmed and edited because I was just very excited one week and I filmed a lot extra. So I have those already done with my main quality camera, but in the meantime I'll be using this one if I ever need to. So 3 videos at least coming up for the rest of the month, and then hopefully more when my camera is fixed. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to be my kind friend. Kindness is the best accessory. Bye.